Hollywood, a place of glitz, glamour, and dreams, has long been the land where stars are born and legends made. But beneath the shiny surface lies a shadowy past. For decades, the world of organized crime quietly wove itself into the very fabric of Tinseltown. Behind the flashing cameras and red carpets were mobsters pulling strings, influencing stars, studios, and even the films that defined generations. From the golden era to today, the connection between Hollywood and the mob wasn't just a rumor, it was a well-kept secret. How deep did these ties run, and who were the players that lurked behind the scenes? To understand the mob's grip on Hollywood, we start with the clubs where the stars played and where the mob made their first moves. Bugsy Siegel, a notorious gangster, helped transform Hollywood's nightlife in the 1930s and 40s. Siegel wasn't just a gangster, he was a businessman with a vision, investing in clubs like the Trocadero and the Clover Club. These venues became hotspots for actors, directors, and studio heads, mingling with mobsters, knowingly or not. Mickey Cohen, a violent and feared figure in Los Angeles, worked alongside Siegel. He controlled much of the gambling and entertainment scene, ensuring that the mob had a say in everything from who partied where to which contracts got signed. These mob-run nightclubs were more than places to drink and dance. They were where deals were struck, careers were made, and relationships between Hollywood and the mob were cemented. But it wasn't just nightclubs that the mob had its sights on. Money talks, and for Hollywood studios, mob money was hard to turn down. Meyer Lansky, one of the most powerful mobsters of all time, allegedly funneled money into Hollywood productions. Some studios, desperate for cash, turned a blind eye to the origins of this funding. In return, the mob had a way to influence what made it to the big screen and which stars shone brightest. The rumors swirled about studio heads colluding with gangsters, making sure certain actors succeeded while others saw their careers buried. It wasn't just about box office success. The mob wanted control over the image Hollywood projected to the world. Then there was Johnny Rosselli. If you've ever wondered who the mob's inside man in Hollywood was, look no further. Rosselli served as the bridge between organized crime and the film industry. His ties to major studios like MGM were no secret, and he often made suggestions that studio heads couldn't refuse. With the mob's grip tightening, the influence seeped beyond financing and into the very lives of Hollywood's biggest stars. When you think of classic gangster movies, actors like Edward G. Robinson come to mind. Famous for his gangster roles, Robinson had his own brush with the real mob. While he was never fully under their control, the influence of organized crime hung over him and many other stars like a dark cloud. George Raft, on the other hand, had closer ties. His friendship with Bugsy Siegel and other mobsters wasn't just for show. It was real. Raft's career choices and public persona were deeply affected by his connections to organized crime. He reportedly turned down roles that portrayed gangsters poorly, out of respect, or perhaps fear, of his underworld friends. It wasn't just roles that the mob influenced. Stars were sometimes encouraged to marry certain individuals or associate with specific people. Marriages were a tool for the mob, used to control stars or ensure their loyalty. Careers could be made or ruined based on a single mobster's favor or disfavor. But the mob didn't stop at influencing actors. It went after the very structure of Hollywood itself. Behind the cameras, the real power struggle was in the unions. The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, IATSE, was one of the most powerful unions in Hollywood, and the mob wanted in. They infiltrated unions, using threats, strikes, and violence to gain control. The labor wars of Hollywood were bloody and ruthless, with mobsters battling studio heads and other unions for power. The mob wasn't just interested in making movies. They wanted to control the entire production process, from start to finish. As the years passed and major crime families crumbled under law enforcement pressure, the mob's influence over Hollywood started to fade. The crackdown on organized crime in the 1950s and 60s weakened the mob's grip, but their legacy remains etched in Hollywood's history. While today's Hollywood may not have the same direct mob ties, the impact of those shadowy years can still be felt. Many stars, directors, and studio heads owe their careers, or their downfalls, to decisions made in smoky backrooms, far from the glitz of the silver screen. Hollywood is a place where light and dark have always coexisted. For decades, the bright lights of fame and fortune masked the darker underworld of organized crime. The mob wasn't just a part of Hollywood's history. It was integral to the deals, the careers, and the very culture of the industry. But who knows what other secrets still remain hidden behind the glitz and glamour of the silver screen?